Hey guys, Grayson Sports here, realtor in Phoenix and the surrounding cities, as well as Prescott and its surrounding cities. Uh, we're here today. These videos are meant to be informational, educational, to help you guys understand the real estate process just a little bit better. All right, guys, today we're going to be talking about lending and mortgages. How do we pay for a house? Unless you have a boatload of cash set aside, we're going to need a loan. Today, I've got Andrew Jeffrey with NAC Mortgage here with us. He's going to help us answer some of these questions that we have about the loan process. Andrew, why don't you go ahead and give us a quick introduction about yourself?
Hi. Thanks, Grayson. My name's Andrew Jeffrey. I have been in the mortgage business since 2017, the real estate business since 2006, and ended up falling in love with the lending side. Ended up opening my own company in 21, and have been doing mortgages as a mortgage broker since.
Awesome. Awesome. Um, and so, being a mortgage broker, does that give you more or less options kind of in the realm of lending?
Oh, being a broker gives you so much more. I can go and shop to multiple different investors. I can go out and find the specific product that's going to fit the buyer personally, that's going to benefit them the best. Every buyer is unique and every situation is unique. And I'm able to get so many more options. If you were to go to, let's say, walk into your bank and walk in and go, I want a mortgage, they're going to give you very few options and they have a very big overhead. Small broker shop like us, we have low overhead. We can keep the rates really low compared to these banks, as well as we have all these other products. Currently, I think we currently have 21 different banks we can go through, which goes and covers everything on the mortgage side, whether you're an investor, a homeowner, or just someone trying to find that first time dream home.
Awesome, awesome. So options is what I'm hearing, and options is a great thing to have, especially when you're in the market for a loan. We want to have options to be able to secure the best financial situation for this long-term investment. This is going to be potentially this is the biggest purchase that individuals are going to make in their life, and so we want to make sure that we are looking at all the different factors and possibilities that we can to make sure you guys are stepping into what is really going to work for you. So let's talk more about that. Um, so a lot of people, we'll go through a few questions that I get asked a lot of. Let's start with why do I need to get pre-qualified?
Yeah. So the biggest thing about pre-qualification is it gives you this bigger picture of where your finances are, where your budget falls in the market. It helps you see exactly what you can afford comfortably, as well as, if you have some hopes and dreams, when we go through the pre-qualification process, we can really narrow it down. Like, honestly, let's take a step back and let's look at this one thing. If you want to buy within the next year, it's best to start talking to a lender now because your situation could completely change. And if rates do come back, like we're hoping, at the end of the day, that's going to flood the market with buyers. Now you're extreme competitive. Yes, rates are a little high now, but that means the competition's lower. You got a better chance of snagging a deal. But if we go into this and we start now, we're going to be able to see, hey, we can formulate the plan, get you set up. If there is any improvements we need, to get you through your credit, through your finances, we can help direct you on formulate that plan. And which is going to give you the better idea of where you're at in the market, know why you're out looking for something, as well as when you're with your agent, you're not wasting time. You're not looking at houses you can't afford. You're not, or missing out on houses you could afford that you had no idea. So it can go both ways.
Yeah, absolutely. You brought up a lot of very good key points there. One, a process of starting now. Even if you're thinking about buying 6 months or 12 months down the road, let's start that process now. That's going to give us key information to put us in the best possible standing once we are ready to make that move. And from a strategic standpoint, there's factors we want to look at. Like there has been millions of people sitting on the sidelines waiting for interest rates to drop. We've seen some of the highest interest rates we've seen in a long time these last few years, and there were about to potentially see interest rates start to moving down, which is a positive direction for buyers. And if that does happen, you're going to have a lot of people that have been waiting that are going to come in and I don't want to say flood the market, but it's going to be a lot of activity. And what that can possibly do is it's going to take away from that inventory and it's going to push prices higher. So, from a strategic standpoint, again, we want to look at things like what's best for your situation. We can always potentially refinance in roughly 6 months, Andrew.
Yeah, 6 months is the pretty much the guideline, but there are extenuating circumstances if something happened, emergency stuff like that. You can do things earlier, but 6 month is pretty much the guideline.
Okay. So, in this situation, let's say maybe right now we're in a better situation or we're still in a good situation to purchase a home. But we're talking, oh, we want to wait to see that interest rate drop another percent to make our payment a little more friendly. And
Yeah,
maybe right now,
can I add something to that, Grayson?
yeah,
Yeah, and that percent is a good rule of thumb, right? Because there is a cost sometimes associated with refining, depending on how your loan's set up. So that 1% guarantees that that savings is going to cover those refi costs and save you money. So that's the rule of thumb there. But if you're sitting there and rates are accelerating downward at that point, you may hang on for 1.5% or 2%, so you don't have
right,
to do it again in another 6 months.
exactly.
It could be the situation. And that's where you're always talking to a lender. That's going to help you understand where the market's heading, things like that. We're going to help you formulate the best plan to make the most out of your money at the end of the day.
Awesome, exactly. And we're talking when we're talking strategy here, it's okay, do I buy the house now and I'm paying maybe 200 or 300 more than I want, but in 6 months maybe I'm looking at that refi or 6 to 12 months I'm looking at that refinance to get into that rate and now essentially I've only made 6 to 12 payments of a couple $100 more. Well, a few $1,000s there versus waiting for that interest rate to come down to where you think it's best for you and the market gets flooded and we have a lot of people coming in and prices now you're paying 30, 40, 50,000 more for that same house that you wanted to wait for. So these are things to all be considered. Definitely not pushing the buy immediately button here, but these are things that we want to consider and you want to consider as a buyer what's going to be best for you, what strategic practices can we implement to get you in the best situation for your future home. So let's circle back to some of these other questions. um, when should I get pre-qualified? I know we kind of talked about that a little bit,
Yeah,
but seems like the sooner the better.
absolutely. Sooner the better, especially if you are, starting to dip the toe in the housing market and you're starting to get down this process. The sooner the better, because once you make contact with your agent or with Grayson here, then you make contact with me or your lender of choice and then get that process rolling. So you have that idea where your budget is and you're not spinning your wheels. Like nothing worse than seeing a home that you absolutely love in a hot market and you can't write an
Cannot
offer
afford.
until you get that.
Yeah. Or you love a home and you realize that it's out of your price range.
Yep.
And because we didn't talk to a lender, we didn't get our finances in order. And here we are in love with a home. We can't buy it. So we want to manage our expectations because this can be a stressful,
Yes.
anxious time. And if we plan correctly, we're going to prevent a lot of that. Um, so, is there any cost or obligation to getting pre qualified?
Not at all. So the phone call we'll set up, we'll get a time, 30 to 60 minutes tops, depending on how many questions you have or whatnot. We're going to peel through all your finances, go through it. You need to have all that information ready for me, such as income, tax returns, checking, pay stubs, all that kind of stuff. And then once we get all that done, there's zero costs, zero association. And if you do decide to take it the step and do a full credit pull and all that stuff at that time, which we would only do if you're ready to start actively looking and writing offers.
Right.
We can put that part off until we get you to that point where you're ready to say, hey, I want to write offers, right? So no obligation. And if I always recommend too, talk to multiple lenders. Like, don't, even if you are working with Grayson, you call me because me and him have that relationship. I have no problems with you going out and shopping me or anything like that, because at the end of the day, we're in this business to get you into the house that you absolutely love at the best price. And if I can't beat it, I want you to still get the house with a better price at the end of the day.
Absolutely, and that's something that I always encourage. I do work closely with Andrew, but we always encourage talking to multiple individuals just to figure out all of your options. You want to have that peace of mind going down the road, especially like we talked about. This is one of the biggest purchases that you will make in your life, and so we want you to know all your options and feel comfortable about the options that you are going with. Um, so I want to bring back up, I want to repeat what you said as far as how long this might take. Um, this process in itself, as long as you have some of your financial information in order, you said this could take as little as 30 to 60 minutes. So,
And it could even be faster because I have a digital application I can send. You can get started on, work on your leisure in between life and kids and everything, and get all that stuff done. Get that application filled out, sent back to me. I review it real quick. We set up on a phone call. We can do it in as little as 15 minutes.
sweet. That's awesome. Um, so I think the next question that people might be asking is what is it that I need? What do I need to get pre-qualified?
So the biggest thing that you're going to need are documents, right? Those are the big things that I've got to submit with the loan application. I need last two's tax returns, last two checking account statements, two most recent pay stubs, copies of driver's license, copies of social security stuff, because this is a big financial decision. And there's a lot of very important paperwork that's got to go through it. So if you have all that stuff readily available, then we can get you all dialed in and get you all pre-qualified.
Cool. And most of these things shouldn't be too difficult to obtain. I think for
No.
most people, hopefully you're probably keeping track of your pay stubs, have your social
Yeah.
security card, driver's license, taxes, all that sort of things. So awesome. Um, so I think we covered a lot of some of these other ones. How long does it take? Very short period of time, actually. Where do we where does this need to take place? How is there do we have to be in person to get this done?
No, so we can do it over the phone. We can do it over a Zoom. We can do it in person. Some clients do feel more comfortable doing stuff in person, which is perfectly okay. As long as we get it all scheduled and do it all, that's no issue at all. But majority of the time, we're done over a phone call. You got speaker phones. Usually, it's the clients on the other end, and we just go through the process. We try and make it as easy and as pain free as possible, and try and be someone that they we I try and joke, I try and just have that fun with them, because this is a stressful thing, but at the end of the day, I want to be that resource. I want them to understand that they can ask me any question, they can go through. I'd rather have a client ask me a million questions than ever sign a loan feeling like they don't understand truly what they're doing, because this is such a big investment.
Right. And that's why we're here. That's why we're doing these videos, because we're taking the extra step to give you guys some information now to help you understand things and understand the process as you move into it, to make this a little bit less stressful, less anxiety. Um, so, in summary, the process can be fairly simple. Just takes a little bit of your financial information and up to an hour of your time. When should we be doing this, guys? We want to start having these. If you're thinking about buying in 2025 or future years, depending on when you're watching this video, um, we want to start having those conversations sooner than later. Reach out to me directly. Andrew's information will be listed as well. But we just want to help you get the questions answered that we need to get your finances in order. There's their credit repair that can be done to get you guys in the best spot in 6 months from now and 12 months from now, even a year and a half or 2 years, whatever your plan is or what you're thinking. We want to walk with you in that and put you on the path for success. So reach out if you have any questions, comments. We're here to help. We appreciate you guys checking out this video today, and we look forward to the next one.